Hello, everybody. Hope you're having
Hey,
a
guys.
lovely weekend. Our guest today is Ian from White Chair Gaming Studios. How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Thank you very much. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, all good. End of the weekend, so we'll see what the new week brings. So let's
Yeah,
just,
it's quite nice to be relaxed, but then it's the trepidation of going back to work again.
yeah, I know, right? Let's just say hello to everyone in the chat. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Mia Geeked. And hi, Plunderden. Hi, Dex. Hope you're doing okay. And Dungeons and Tricks. Hope you're all doing great. So, Ian, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself before we get into this?
Yeah, sure. I'm my name's Iain Gonzales. I run White Shark Gaming Studios Instagram and YouTube channel.
Okay, I'm just going
The
to drop
Facebook
the
page
links in there.
is sorry.
I'm just going to drop some links to your socials in the chat so people can find you.
Thanks very much. The White Shark Gaming Studios Facebook page is basically now a clone of Instagram. It was updated when we first started, but now it just gets all the Instagram stuff. I used to create wargaming terrain through White Shark Gaming Studios, and I closed that down a while ago. I'll go a bit more into that later on if people want me to. Yeah, I make stuff for fun. I do the occasional commission, and I'm pretty much self-taught. But any information that I do have, I will freely share. And because I think most of the information I've learned in the past has been from people like yourself, Karl, like the Plunder Den who's tuned in. Thank you very much. And I think if I'm learning it for free, then I should give it out for free. So yeah, that's me. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a designer. I work full time in IT. It's I have to. I think for me, I have to have something tangible at the end of my day to get fulfillment. And my IT is turn it off and on again, or direct somebody to the correct drive on our system, or reset a password, something like that. So there's nothing tangible at the end of my day. Whereas this allows me to relax, take a deep breath, and chill, and create something that otherwise wouldn't have been in existence. So you can see from behind me, there's a lot of random stuff about. My models are here. And my Lego is quite prominent as well, as you can see. So we can go a bit more into that later as well, if you like.
Oh,
So
yeah, definitely.
that's me.
Because, yeah, Lego is awesome and
Oh,
we should talk more about it.
I'm also an identical twin.
Oh,
So
all right.
if you see him in the street and he doesn't say hello, it's not me. It's my brother.
Okay, noted. I am also a humble peasant plowing the field of IT, so I know exactly what you mean about needing something,
Yeah,
solid in your hands.
yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. I enjoy my job. We've just gone through some stuff at work, so I've been promoted, which is great, and I enjoy it.
Hey,
It's
congratulations.
just, thank you very much. It's the tangible aspect of things at the end of the day. I mean, I make offices, so I plug all the equipment in for their office, but I haven't made them or I haven't
Mhm.
made anything, so I've just plugged in what's been supplied. So yeah, it's just the creative aspect. And I draw a lot with my daughter, and we make a load of bits out of like cardboard tubes and stuff as well.
Nice.
So in fact, she helped me make the tower. I'll show you in a bit. We made a tower together. So yeah, she enjoyed that. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I'm a pretty open book. So
All right.
yeah.
So how did you get into gaming and crafting in the first place?
Well, that story starts a long time ago when I was 24. I'm 42 now, so quite a while ago. My brother,
Don't say that. I'm also 42 and I'm trying. No, actually, I'm 42 or 43. No, I'm 42.
you're definitely too old when you forget.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I know that feeling. So when I was 24, my brother had an appendix issue, and he had his appendix removed, and he couldn't go to work for 6 weeks, and he was bored, so he wanted something to do. So he bought a box of Tau Fire Warriors from his local Games Workshop,
Okay.
started to paint them, decided he didn't like them, gave them to me, and that, as we all know, turned into an addiction.
Oops.
And here we are. So, yeah, many, many years later, thousands and thousands and thousands of points of armies later, hundreds and hundreds of models painted. The stuff you see on my Instagram and on the Facebook pages at the moment is very, very recent from me. Like the phone making, that
Mhm.
only started in 2021. So I've only been doing it for
Very
three
recent, yeah.
years. Yeah, so it's pretty recent. I've always been a bit crafty, but I learned a lot from Black Magic Craft, obviously. Um, I should have got a list of channels together. I feel really bad. There's so many there are so many YouTube channels I watch. I think I've got something like I'm gonna kind of talk. I'm gonna check how many I subscribe to on my YouTube here.
Okay, I'm just
I
going
think I
to
subscribe. It's
have.
not just no, it's hundreds of them. It's mad.
I see that
Uh,
Campaign Terrain and Questboard Terrain have joined us. Hi, Cross
yeah.
and hi, Kim.
Hi guys. So yeah, I've 173 channels I subscribe to. Um, and not all of it's terrain based. Some of it's painting, some of it's Lego, some of it's my daughter. Not very much because she's got her own YouTube kids. But yeah, I subscribe to 172 channels. I would say 150 to 150, 60 of those are crafting related. People like Studson Studios as well. I subscribe to them.
Okay, yeah.
There's loads. I can't name them all, but they're all fantastic, and I just glean a lot of knowledge from them. And I'm one of those people that if I see something I like, I'll give it a go. I taught myself to knit 4 years ago because I just fancy giving it a go. I saw some videos on wood turning once, and I bought a lathe, turned a bowl. Now it sits downstairs in my kitchen with all the keys in it, and I've solved the lathe because I've scratched that itch.
Yeah, I wish I had space for a lathe because wood turning always fascinated me.
Oh, I have a very understanding wife. I mean, she has to. The Lego and the models, she's got to be understanding, right?
Yeah,
so,
I guess.
yeah, no, she's pretty understanding. It keeps my hands busy. So, yeah, I got into the hobby because of my brother, basically. So I've got a lot to thank him for, and he owes me a lot of money because of it. All the money I've spent, I reckon.
So you mentioned earlier that White Shark Gaming Studio started out making the Warhammer 40,000 terrain.
Yeah, so I started an orc army. White Shark Gaming Studios actually stemmed from another company I created called BNS Miniatures, and BNS stood for Big Nasty Shark. You see, there's a theme with the companies. I love sharks,
Okay.
so there's a theme. I started BNS Miniatures back when I was a member of a forum called Platoon Britannica, which was a painting forum, which was set up to help young aspiring painters in the UK and Europe how to get better at painting. There were some incredibly well-known artists on there, some Slayer Sword winners, Nigel Carman, Ben Jarvis, and loads of other Golden Demon winners. And the forum, because we didn't have obviously Facebook back then and Instagram wasn't massive, so we had the forum, and we had such a social aspect to it as well. We'd meet up at all the game days. As I said to you earlier, I'm not at all a good painter. I'm a passable painter, which is fine, and I'm getting better with tricks I learn. But I would go for the social aspects, to meet people, to learn tips and tricks. And I started BNS because people needed resin bases and resin plinths for their terrain entries. I'm glad I stopped doing it because Taro Model Maker has got an enormous amount of resin plinths, and I could never do his quality. So, yeah. BNS Miniatures stopped about 4 years in for health reasons. I was discovered to have a little bit of a problem with my heart.
Oh,
so it's fine now. That's all right. I'm managing it, so I don't know what sets it off. So we're all good. And about 4 or 5 years after I'd finished, I still had some of the equipment, and it was just languishing in the workshop. And I started an orc army. So I said, I need some bases. Rather than hand make 60 bases for a boys squad or 2 boys squads, I thought I'll just make 10 and I'll cast them. And then that turned into nearly 24,000 points of orcs. So, I'm not making that many bases. So, so I started making bases, and then I had a friend say, could you make me some Eldar bases? So I made him some Eldar bases. I went, well, hang on a second. I'll mold these ones as well. So I went back to the same thing again. You can still buy some of my BNS Miniatures bases from Model Display Products, MDP. He bought all the molds from that a while ago. Whether or not he still has them, I don't know, but he owns the rights, so I don't really care. So yeah, White Shark Gaming Studios and then we progressed. Then I progressed to barriers. So do you remember the old Aegis defense line from Games Workshop?
I don't think so. No.
The bit of the defensive wall with the gun that came up mainly for guard players, but you got a +1 to your cover save when you stood behind it or something. So I made versions of that with sandbags and barrels and crates and stuff, and just slowly progressed from there. And the idea was to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then a few years after I started and I got a load of products and did a few shows, we were all hit with that worldwide thing that we all love, COVID. So, sorry. And then when COVID came along, because I work a full-time job, I didn't want those that only have sole income from their businesses losing out because I was getting business. So I decided to stop selling during that time and said, don't buy from me, buy from other people that need the income. It sounds a bit awful saying it like that, but I work full time, and as I said, I get paid quite well for my job, and I don't need the income. I did it as a self sort of funding kind of business, which is what White Shark Gaming always did. So I stopped selling, hopefully allowing other people to get business, and then I just enjoyed the time I had to myself that I could spend with my family and my daughter rather than being in the shed casting 20, 30 sets of bases. And and then so I decided to stop completely, and I sold all the molds to a chap in Southampton, who did nothing with them for 2 years, which was fun. And then luckily, Karl, a lovely guy from Crooked Dice, he bought them all, and he messaged me and said, "Do you know this guy's selling all your stuff?" I went, "Oh, that's good. If you're going to do something with them, please buy them." So he's now got them all. He keeps messaging me, telling me he's not done anything with them yet. I'm like, it's fine. I know you will. Don't worry. He's got a huge stock. So yeah, that's White Shark Gaming Studios. That's how I got started. And the molds, I've made thousands of molds. Probably tens of thousands of pieces of resin have come out of my workshop.
So I guess you've got a lot of experience under your building.
Yeah, basic simple molds like drop molds and a couple of 2-part mold. Well, actually, quite a few 2-part molds. I made glove molds as well. So nothing that the movie industry professionals would do. I'm not that good at all. They are phenomenal.
Yeah, but you don't need to be.
Yeah, I know my way.
And you don't have a $3 million budget, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if the customer's going to pay for it. Why not?
Yeah. Okay, I see Loosely Connected joined us. Good to see you. So you mentioned that you still do some commission work here and there, and there's a question that I mean, I'm not interested in doing commission work because, like you say, we're doing this for fun, and this hobby is literally my safety valve. I don't want to put stress on it, but I've even had people ask questions like, how do you price a commission? How do you even go there?
Well, how do I price a mission? I have been always quite private with the money side of things. I'm going to answer your question. Don't worry. It's a bit of a weird one because I'm always open and free with the information that I've gathered from others. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So building techniques, how I go about making my balsa wood and the framework and everything, molding and everything. I'll teach everybody everything I know about that. My advice for your pricing your commission is find an hourly rate that you're happy to work at, double it, and then add an extra 50% on.
Okay. What's the reasoning behind that?
Because you're going to be working for, if you say your commission is going to say, when you start a commission, you can't say how long it's going to be unless it's a defined process. So if you commission a 3D print, you can go click. That's going to take 20 hours. So that's what I'm going to charge you. 20 hours work, I know it's going to be that. With doing the bricks and everything, you don't know how long it's going to take you to stick 5,000 bricks to the side of a really small castle wall, do you? So, and things go wrong. You can cut as many bricks as you want, and you shake them, and then the top lid opens, and all these bricks go on the floor, and you're there picking all 5,000 bricks up. There's half an hour of your time. So to be able to quantify like that, the double the hourly rate and the extra 50% on top, that also includes materials as well. So despite the fact your foam isn't that expensive, you still got to spend time cutting it up. It's taking your electricity, it's taking up the wire you're using on your foam cutter, the money you've already spent on the jigs you're maybe going to use. So I have to take all that into consideration as well. So I used to do the molding on commission as well. So I would you'd have to factor in plastic cups or paper cups as we move to, your coffee stirrers, your waste disposal, your tissue, your tubs, everything like that you have to take into account. And the foam core you use for your mold box, that's all an expenditure. You have to go into it quite mercenary like. You have to then think, this is 100% a business. I've got to make money off of this. Otherwise, what's the point? My commissions now, I can pick and choose because I don't rely on it as a source of income. The ones I've recently done, which I showed you, are for Karl from Crooked Dice Studios. And this is one of the...
Bring that up because that looks absolutely amazing. There you go.
Dungeon ones. So these are the doors. Oh, let's see if I can find them. And these just slot in. So you can have them in or out. I can't do it when I'm not looking at it, sorry. There we go. So you can just slot in and out. So it's a bit washed out. Let me turn my light down. There we go.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So yeah, these are all made with jigs that I also designed. So the arches and the pillars as well. So yeah, so this is one, because I speak to Karl on a regular basis. I worked with him before. He approached me and said, I've got a little commission. Do you think you might be interested? And I asked him what it was. He gave me the initial design sizes. And then when I showed him how big the initial designs were, we went to a quarter of the size because they were massive.
Okay.
So it was, the original bottom base was like A3 size. I was like, mate, you're never going to want that. And I'm never going to lay that many bricks. It's absolutely massive.
Oh, yeah, so, I get you.
Yeah, it's ridiculously big. They're going to be for backdrops for his miniatures. I don't think he'll mind me saying, because I've been showing all of my Instagram anyway. So that's one of the other stipulations with any commission I take. I've done commission design projects for stuff in the past where I've signed an NDA, and I still can't talk about them now because even though the products still aren't launched, I still can't talk about them, which is fine. But I want people to be able to share in the skill that I might have that I can share with them. So any commission I take there'll be one stipulation which will not be broken, was I want to share it on my social media so other people can see what's going on. I don't have to say who it's for or what it's for, but I want to share the work I'm doing. Because otherwise it's taking my time out of my hobby that I find valuable, the time of. So yeah, that's another stipulation I want. And if people aren't happy with that, I'll say, that's fine, no problem. There are plenty of other artists out there that will do it for you, and I'll point them in their direction.
Yeah, that sounds,
but yeah, pricing up a commission is it's a very difficult thing to do unless you've been doing it for years, and I haven't. So I find a price, I use that formula, double what an hourly rate I'd be happy with, add 50% on, find out what the project is, get basic plans, and be specific. Don't say to a client, what do you want? They go, I want a house. And then you give them a one-story house with a roof and 2 windows. They're like, well, that's not what I asked for. You're like, well, hang on, you asked me for a house. You can define what you want. Do you want a 3-story house? Of course. So you got to ask them for specifics. If they can give you a basic drawing, excuse me, and show them regular updates, completely regular updates.
Yeah, I'd be honest.
And always take a deposit.
Deposit makes a lot of sense, but everything else
always take a deposit. Yeah,
sounds a lot like work. Like actual work.
Yeah, exactly. And I do this. We both, as you said, we both do this for fun. So I'll pick and choose the ones I want to do. I'll do them when I want to do them. but the deposit is also there. I would also advise take a deposit and have 50% of your deposit non-refundable
Mm-hmm.
because you're spending that money on materials that you can't then claim back.
Of course, yeah.
Because if you start cutting foam up and they decide they don't want the project, they'll say, well, sorry, I've already paid for the materials. If they need you to, buy the materials and provide a receipt and give that to them. That's no problem at all. But some of it should be non-refundable because you've got to buy products yourself.
Yeah,
So
that does make sense.
your glue sticks and everything else. So, excuse
Bless.
me. I don't usually do this much talking.
That's all right. You're doing great. So let's see. Dungeon Matron has joined us. Hi, Lisa. And oh, Net One Video is also in the chat. Hi, Mike. And he's saying the detail Ian manages to get into his builds is phenomenal. A true labor of love. Yes, that is. That it is.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and Dex from the Plunder then is saying, I charge for my time, supplies, and shipping costs from Canada. I usually only sell to someone that will appreciate the item.
Yeah, exactly. Always, as Dex said, he charges for shipping. Never give the customer a shipping cost. Always get the shipping cost and then charge them afterwards because you could be out of pocket there as well.
Good point, yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, Dex, I love your work, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's see. And Dungeons and Chronics is asking, have you ever had difficult customers and how do you deal with them? Oh, that's a
I go knock on their door. No, I don't really. No, I don't. I haven't really had difficult customers. As I said, I get to choose the projects that I want to do, and I will. When someone approaches me, I've agreed stuff over Messenger and Instagram and stuff before. But before I start the work, I'll often have a meeting with them like this, either via FaceTime or sometimes it's face to face as well. And I hate to use the phrase size up, but you can size up a client quite well in a meeting, I think. And I know if it's a project I want, if I know it's a project I'm going to enjoy, I don't think I'm going to have a problem with it. If it's a project, if you take a commission on it, and every time you go to that commission, you're like, oh, why did I do this? You're going to have problems straight away. If it's something you know you're not going to enjoy, it doesn't matter how much money you're going to make for it. You're not going to put your best effort in. You're not going to be passionate about it. And I think you do your best work when you're passionate about something. And I always do. I do some of my best work when I'm passionate and I'm learning something from it as well. So Cole's thing, I learned to do the arches. I've never done arches like that before. I've done arches on some of the buildings, but they were never layered.
Okay.
So I've never done layered arches like that, and I learned from it. I really enjoyed it.
That's a hell of a learning curve. Nice.
Yeah. I was really lucky when I started out doing this in 2021. I bought one single sheet of foam from a company called the Underfloor Heating Store here in the UK. I sent some pictures to them. I said, look, I just wanted to share with you what can be done with your foam instead of just underfloor heating. And they sent me 4 sheets of every single size they've got.
Oh, nice.
Just for free. They just sent it to me. So I cut a load of it up and did a big giveaway and gave that away. But I'm really lucky that I've got a huge stock in my workshop, so I don't have to worry about running out. So I know that if I cut an arch and it doesn't go right, those bricks go in the bucket for another time. So I don't have to worry about it. So if I'm going to make a higgledy-piggledy broken down cottage, I just use the random bricks.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm fairly lucky in that respect. So yeah, it's difficult customers, not really. No, pick and choose. If you're going to do a commission or you're considering it, try and do work for a friend first if you can. Find out if you like it. Charge a friend. If your friend wants you to do something for them, don't charge them full whack. Charge them a little bit of money. Make them pay for materials, but try and learn from it and see if you enjoy the process. If you enjoy the process of a commission and learning and creating something, then go ahead. But if you don't enjoy it, it's not for you. It really isn't. And you're going to make mistakes and you're not going to want to do it again. So, yeah, no, good. I dare say I will have them if I continue taking them in the future. But again, I'll just have meetings and I'll flesh out the situation and see what's going on.
That is very good advice. Okay, and let's see. The Plunder then is saying, Thanks so much. I really love your work as well. Absolutely fantastic. Definitely would love to work on something together one day. That would be super cool.
Absolutely. There is a massive amount of Canadian creators out there. I
Yeah,
never
there are
knew.
there. Yeah.
There's loads, and most of them on YouTube. There's loads of Canadian crafters. It's phenomenal.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think we can blame Black Magic Craft for, yeah, it's not just in Canada, I think internationally, but yeah.
no, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, and that one video is saying I was getting my foam from them also, but they stopped doing the 5 centimeter thick stuff, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's a real shame because when I got a load of the purple and pink stuff from them. I've tidied up.
Oh no!
It's usually down here. Yeah, it's what Karl's is made from, and they only make that in the 10 mil and 20 mil now, and everything else is now black foam, which I've not used, but I've been told it's good because there's a video on my YouTube channel. I made it like 3 years ago, where I tested 3 different types of foam available here in the UK, and the black one came out at the bottom. But because of my inexperience, I didn't take the factory edge off. So you know, when it comes out the factory and it's got the big industrial, yeah, I didn't take that off in my experience. Now I know differently. I would do that again. So I'm probably going to redo the same video testing multiple brands again.
Okay.
Because I think the black is just literally the same as the purple with a different dye. So
okay,
yeah,
that's
I think
good
it's
to know.
fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I see Jack Cleveland joined us, saying greetings from San Francisco. Hi, Jack, good to see you. And
San Francisco, glorious city. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jack will be on here in a couple of weeks.
I'll be tuning in. Fantastic.
Yeah, just hope we don't scare you off today.
Well, it'll be my fault if we do.
Okay, yeah, just before the stream started, you were showing off your Lego stuff, which I thought was just amazing.
Oh wow. Yeah, so I've been passionate about Lego since I was a child. Now, this is a hobby I have done since I was a child.
Okay.
Unlike 40K when I started when I was 24. I don't buy a lot of Lego sets. The ones I do buy, I buy for a reason. So Iron Man sets, I'll buy them for the figures, build them and keep them available. If I move my head, that is my Iron Man suit gantry all up there. It contains all of the Iron Men that Lego have ever produced, apart from one, because that's the New York Toy Fair one that was in 2012, and it was limited to 125, and they're worth over £3,000 each. And if I bought one of those, yeah. If I bought one of those, we'd be getting divorced very quickly. I was fairly lucky in the fact that I started the collection when they released the first sets. So I bought them all at the smaller price. So some of those probably only cost me £2 or £3, and some of them are now worth £60 to £80 each.
Oh, right.
Because they're so limited. The cheapest one I got was from a video game, and I bought the video game, took the Lego figure out, traded the video game back in, and lost £2, and that was it. And that's the most expensive one up there. That's the one that's worth most of the money up there now. So I'm quite shrewd on that one, thankfully. So so what I do with Lego is I design all my models on a program called stud.io. It was originally created by individuals, and now I think it's owned by Lego because it links directly to a site called Bricklink, which is where you can buy individual bricks. And I buy my bricks from there, and I design everything. So, like my pirate ship, I'll get another piece down if you want to have another look.
Oh yeah, definitely. Come on, because that's just amazing.
This one has got full detail in it. This is where I drop it.
God, that thing is nervous.
So you can see the hammocks and the cannons and the crates. And
you've even got the ballast in there. It's like it's amazing.
Yeah, even with the ballast. Yeah, all about the detail.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, this is so on the top here. I've not put the mast on because I need to buy some steel aluminium rod or something that goes in. But you've even got the rigging
of the height.
So this is actually Lego as well. So these are the Spider-Man web shooter things in black. and these are droid arms in black.
Okay.
So I joined it all up for the rigging. So yeah, so this is a passion project of mine and my brother's. We went to a Lego show to show off that. I've got an aquarium build downstairs. I've got a D&D one up here as well, which I'll be taking apart very soon because I've got no space for it. Yeah, my two biggest passions are building stuff out of foam and Lego.
Okay,
very expensive, and everything's really tiny.
I'm getting the feeling that we should be doing another stream entirely just on your Lego sets because that thing is amazing.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll do that. Absolutely no problem at all.
Okay, so we have two questions for you here. One of them is from Louis Collected. At which point did you decide that you could sell your work, and what made you decide that? I think it's a question of like, okay, I'm good enough to sell this now.
Oh, as soon as people asked to start buying it, to be honest with you, you can sell literally anything in the world. Anyone can sell anything. It's just what the person is prepared to pay for it. And if you make, this is the bridge. So where is it? There we go.
There you go.
There we go. So this is my bridge. This took a long time to build. It's got over 3,000 individual bricks in it. And between building it and painting it probably took me a year as well. If someone messaged me and said, can I buy that bridge? I'd be like, yeah, of course you can. Make me an offer. And if they made me an offer and I wasn't happy with that offer, I'd just say, no, thank you. Because you got to think about, what's your time worth? Do you need that model in your life? Can you live without it? You've made the effort to bring it to life. What amount of money are you happy to get rid of it for? So as soon as someone sees your work and says, wow, that's really cool, I have to have it, they'll pay what it's worth. So don't worry about overpricing your work. There's no overpricing your work. It's what you're prepared to part with. I mean, you've got to look at the stuff like, one of the old adages is Van Gogh was regarded as a really bad painter when he was around. When in his time, when he was painting, all of his stuff was locked in a vault. No one liked his stuff. Now, absolute millions. It's unreal. None of this is ever going to be worth millions because it's foam. But you can only know your true value because you put yourself in your work. Other people will be prepared to pay for that, but it's up to them, and it's up to you what you let it go for. The first time I ever sold anything, I think I undervalued it massively, and I don't regret selling it because it was, in my opinion, terrible. But the person that bought it from me got a really big kick out of it. They really enjoyed it, and I think they've still got it. I'm not going to mention any names because it's embarrassing. But yeah, you're ready to start selling your own stuff whenever you want. Put your own prices on it. If people lowball you, that's up to them. You don't have to agree with what they say. Just go for it. If you want to start selling. Yeah, I don't mind.
The thing is that, like you say, value depends on what the person who is buying it or receiving it thinks about it.
Exactly.
And when it comes to assessing our own skills, that's something that I keep seeing over and over again. It's like, if I build something, I'm going to know every single flaw that's in that thing that other people would not know about. So
exactly, yes.
We do tend to undervalue our own stuff.
Yeah. The bridge, for example, this went through 5 or 6 iterations. So there's a video on, again, sorry, I keep plugging my YouTube channel.
No, definitely, no, go ahead. That's one of the reasons you're here.
There's a video how I built this. This started off probably this low. Where am I going? Oh, there's the camera, sorry. Oh, sorry. So no, probably started off this low. I added an extra layer on. It was going to be flagstones on the top of the bridge until I decided to be a loon and add all of those individual bricks in. These were made by David Brumby at BrumbyD on Instagram. Absolutely fantastic sculptor and designer. He does a lot of CAD 3D stuff. wonderful chap. He said, I'm looking for some acorn finials to go on a bridge and a future build. So he made me some, designed these, 3D printed them, sent them over to me. I made a mold. So I've got more in future. So he did these. So I would, if someone bought the bridge from me, I would say the bridge is 100% my work, but these things were designed by David Bromby. So always, if you're going to sell something and something else is on there from someone else, credit where credit's due. Always give credit. So yeah. Yes, selling your work's difficult. If you're not happy to let it go, don't let it go. If you're happy to let it go, let it go. It's as simple as that. I recently sold 3 of my buildings to a chap in America. He bought it for a fair price. I was happy with the price. They were just languishing in the cupboard anyway. So I play D&D. I don't use any of the terrain for it.
No,
not at all. No,
yeah, that's weird.
So the recent bits I've designed, I'm the DM for our current campaign, so we'll be using those at some point.
Okay.
But the other 2 DMs, we don't use any terrain at all.
I see.
We just do it on a table with paper. So yeah,
because we did have a question here from both from Questboard Terrain and from Dungeons and Chronics. Do you ever use Lego builds for RPG gaming?
Now you said that. What did I show you earlier? I'm designing my own tree at the moment, which is falling to pieces. So I'm designing this at the moment, and this is going to be going with some of the new mushroom hats from the minifigure series.
Okay.
So it's going to be a fantasy build. There's going to be a ruined tower. There's going to be a load of soldiers running down the thing. So there's going to be a ruined tower in the fantasy tree. And weirdly say our D&D characters, I made them all out of Lego minifigure parts. Okay. So it represents our characters as well. Nice. So I can and probably will use Lego for D&D, but not with my current DMs because they don't use buildings. So
all right, that's fine. It's a different way to play. But let's see. Loosely Collected is saying, I think he needs the old Lego pirate combat rules from Dragon Magazine. Well, I think he needs the old Lego pirate combat rules from Dragon Magazine.
Oh, the Lego combat pirate rules? I wasn't aware of those.
Yeah, I wasn't aware of those either, but now I think I need them too.
Yeah, I think I do. For the pirate ship, we've got over 150 of the original classic pirates.
Okay.
Yeah, that is very difficult to get hold of. I search Facebook groups and Bricklink all the time, but I have a specific limit of how much money I'll pay for each one, and I won't go over it because it is really not worth it. I'll be bankrupt.
So, and let's see, Jack Cleveland is saying, crafting is skilled labor, price accordingly. Yep, 100%.
Exactly, yeah. Price for what you're happy to sell for. Yeah, and don't always try and make a profit for your time as well. Materials set aside, you should always try and make yourself a little bit of profit, because if you're making them for less, unless you can super afford it and you can just afford to give them away, that's fine. But if you're doing it as a business, always make a profit after everything is taken into account.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. So another question: do you have any particular favorite build from the ones you crafted, whether it's a Lego build or a foam build?
My favorite build for Lego is my Iron Man suit gantry, because that was my first passionate build. It will be the pirate ship when it's finished, because it'll be massive. But my favorite build currently is probably this. The bridge is definitely one of them, but it's probably this.
Oh, that's a good looking well.
So this is a well I scratch built completely, and I made a mold and made these. This was the last product I fully created and made for White Shot Gaming Studios before I sold it. So the roof is 2 sections, the side pieces is 1 section, the brick is 1 section, the bucket and the span and the handle is also a mold as well. So I was very happy with this. I'm super happy with them all, but I think this is probably one of my favorites because a couple of my friends own copies and I sold quite a few of these, and I've given quite a few away on stream. I've only got one left in the shed. So but yeah, I think that's one of my favorites without a doubt.
Actually, that gives me another question. When you're designing a model for forecasting as opposed to just building one to paint and be done with it, is there anything that you plan differently or?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're casting a model for, hang on, let's give you an example. So two more fairly recent builds were the columns I did. This, if I was casting this, I wouldn't have any problems. I have to worry about this at all because this could be a simple drop mold. So with this, I would create. So if I show you, I'd create a wall around it.
I think
and then just pull rubber onto it.
Here. Can I show that? Yeah.
Oh yes, it's fitted, didn't I? Yeah. There we go. So these ones are fairly simple. The only problem you'd have with these ones are the top portion of the plinth on the big one at the back. But the rest of them you could drop mold really easily.
Talking about this
you just pour rubber onto them. Yeah, that bit there. So that's because that's an undercut. So when you pour resin into the negative space in a mold, you'd have air bubbles created underneath the edges hanging over. So that's where you've got to take into account when you're making a mold. You've got to worry about where the air bubbles come from and where they flow. You can counteract that with channels and air channels and stuff. But unless you really know what you're doing, it's quite difficult to get that right. And you can ruin a mold by adding them in afterwards. So I would take that off and cast it separately and just add it on as a piece to stick to it. But no, I know these are easy to cast because I've got a box full of them in the cupboard.
Okay.
In resin. So yeah, these ones are all made from foam. I did make the originals for White Shot Gaming Studios as resin. I have a box full of them still. But these were designed using my jigs, which are somewhere around here. Bear with me. So yeah, this is the jig for the foam to create the actual column. So you put a 25mm by 25mm block in there and just run it around your cut, and you get the individual pieces like this one.
Nice, all right.
And then you just shake them in a box of rocks like we all do with the bricks, and it weathers them up. And I have multiples of these. And this is the 40mm version, so it's a little bit bigger, but it's exactly the same. And that's for the base.
For the plinth, okay.
You just put the block of foam in here, and you just run around it, and you take it out and twist it around. Nice. So yeah, so this is for 40mm. So this is for kind of action figures. And I don't know if any of you remember. You might remember, Karl, because you're as old as me. Do you remember? Do you remember the show Visionaries?
Oh yeah,
when we were kids. So that's Leoric, the leader of the Spectral Knights. And he was my brother's toy, not this specific one, but my brother and I had a large collection of these when we were children, and we left them behind in one of our family homes when we moved away. And this is a present for my brother for his 40th birthday. I bought one originally 2 years ago, and it was a really bad version, and it was broken when it arrived. So I obviously got my money back on eBay. And then I've been trying to find a decent complete version with hat and whip and staff for ages. Found one, bought it, and I bought this from the glass dome from IKEA.
Okay.
So it'll be going like that because I don't like dust on things. So glass doors, the Lego will go away very soon. So yeah, I've just got to finish painting this up, and there'll be a video on how I made this as well soon. So yeah, this is my brother for his 40th. So yeah, that's what this is the 40mm ones. And then I made he's not stuck down, he's not glued, he's just stuck on pieces of wood. Yeah, so that one, this mold, sorry, I'm talking about molding, aren't I? No. So the molds for these would be super easy. This, on the other hand.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that would have to be in lots of different
particularly pieces. Difficult. So the windows wouldn't be see-through, so you can see through those. You'd have to make those solid. Will the light work? Oh, you can see it lighting up there. My first ever electronics, it was a cheap candle. I can't do electronics. No, I can't do that. So this would be you take the roof off. I'd cast the two sides of the roof separately, and I'd do a drop mold with the rest of it, but I wouldn't have it on the base. So I'd do the base as a separate mold as well.
Sorry, remind me. Drop mold is when the mold is in one piece, right?
Yeah, one piece, and then you take the mold off the object, and you have a negative void in there, and then you pour the resin in from the top, and then you pull it out. Yeah, so that's a drop mold. These would be two-part casts, so you'd have a rubber here and rubber the other side, and then you'd pour from the top and put it in a pressure vessel. So that's what those two would be. But yeah, that would be. It'd be fairly simple to do when you know what you're doing, but it would be a difficult job for a first-time molder to do. I would definitely say if you're going to be molding for the first time, do drop molds 100%. Do 10 or 15 of those, get the hang of it, get your confidence up. No matter what it is, working with a new material is always worrying, especially if it's the cost of resin and rubber. They're very expensive if you use the decent ones. But make cheap mistakes first. Don't make expensive mistakes.
That is good advice.
Yeah. I've made a fair few expensive mistakes. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I did try to do a bit of casting a while back. I was okay. I'm getting the hang of this thing, and then I came upon I think Robert Tolone's channel. The man has been making casts for 50 years, 60 years, something.
I subscribe to him as well.
Yeah, he's a great guy. There is so much stuff I don't know about this.
Yeah. What that guy knows is unreal. And his pressure pots as well. His pressure pots are brilliant. You push them in and pull them. They're mad. He's got loads of them. I think they're fantastic. No, he's an absolute gem of a guy. And he shares all his information for free on his YouTube channel. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, definitely a great channel. So, since we started looking at your 4 pieces, what do you say if we jump in and start going over the photos that you sent me?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so first up, we've got, these were the ones we're just looking at.
Yeah, so those are the column pieces. I just had the idea about just making some scatter terrain for the D&D campaign I am running, because I'm going to start using some. And I thought, well, I could use my resin columns, or I could try and create something that people would find interesting. I know, I don't know if the rest of any of you guys watching know or have heard of ROK Minis. I know Karl has. It's run by Richard O'Keefe. He's a really good personal friend of mine, which is why you see him on my social media a lot. I don't get paid by him. I just do it because he's a friend, and his sole business. He doesn't work. He does that for a living. So I try and help him out as much as I can. So I'm pretty sure I design all of his laser cut stuff at the moment. He's designing some of his own stuff, and he's getting better, which is great to see. I help him with his molding a little bit as well, give him as much advice as I can. But I wanted to see if I could design some products that I can use to create something that you guys could use as well. So I designed the templates for the columns, and he laser cut them for me, and we tested them, and they worked quite well. And then he sells them on his website. I have an affiliate link for him, so I get a tiny kickback, but I don't do it to get paid up. My payment from him is he cuts me the jigs and I get to keep them. So it's a win-win. I don't have to pay anyone else to laser cut me some terrain or anything like that. So
it's a pretty sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. Plus, I don't have space for a massive laser cutter, and he does, which is great.
Yeah, but that apart, I did buy some products from Richard. I think it was a couple of years ago, and the guy's service is amazing.
Yeah, he's really good. He's really good. He won't like me talking about it, but he is really good. No, I won't talk. Of course, he'll like me talking about it.
So I do have a question about these. How do you go about getting the words. Yeah. How do you go about painting these? Because I really love the way that the stone looks on this.
It's really basic. So I'll paint them in fact, I've got the paints right here. So the first paint is this one. Oh, hello, where's the camera gone? There we go.
Okay. It's a Pebeo, okay.
Yeah, Pebeo, yeah.
Yeah, I use buckets of those.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so much cheaper than the well-known brand we know. I
absolutely.
won't mention any names. So this is the base coat. No, sorry, I'm going wrong way around. Wrong way around. This is the base coat. So this one
That's
is dark taupe.
mhm.
So and then I use a dry brush of light taupe, and then an even lighter dry brush of the string like. I'm not making these names up, people. That says string like.
String like.
And then I
What you mean,
use,
like a string? Is that what it's called?
it's supposed to look like string. Yeah, I
Okay.
think so, like a ball of string. And then I use the method I use in all my videos for weathering. I stipple. So I put, I do use Citadel washes because I think they're just the best. I have made my own, so these,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to shake them all the time, and they cover the bases. I don't cover the buildings in these. But I put in a layer of wash around the bottom of the area where I think water would have collected naturally. As you can see, the bottom bits of the bricks are only dark brown. And then I'll take a dry brush and I'll stipple up. So I drag the paint up just by stippling, not by dragging, because I don't want the streaks.
So you're
And it
stippling
blends
the wash rather than the paint at this point?
Yeah, so I wait for all the paint to dry and then I put the wash on and I stipple it afterwards. The bases don't really, so the tiles, not pointing at the screen as if you guys can see my finger. The tiles don't need it, but I only put washes in the recesses, and I do that on my buildings as well because, as we said before we joined, I'm more of a natural painter than a very, very stark highlight painter. I like to paint realistically if I can. So I look at buildings, I take reference pictures where I can, and where water would collect is where you would see most of the dirt and all of the grime, because that's where it would just wash off the bricks, it would collect at the bottom. And that, because without teaching anyone to suck eggs, that's how stalactites are formed. The water runs down, it collects the dirt at the bottom, and it creates calcium deposits or whatnot. So this is exactly the same way dirt runs off the buildings and that. So I try and do that as much as possible, but it's all about the stippling for me, keeping your brush dry, stippling it, and then taking up by layers. Sometimes in these pictures, you can see I've got a rather large work light. You can see it comes up as stark, but in my hands here, it just looks like a slight gradient.
1 second. There you go.
So it just looks like a slight gradient. So it looks a lot different in different lighting. It really does.
I mean, it looks good in the photos, but
yeah. And then I use grass tufts. I don't make those. Gamers Grass make them because they're amazing. So and then just mossy tufts in the cracks and stuff. So again, there's a full painting tutorial and build video on these on my YouTube channel.
Okay, let me just take this as a cue to drop your YouTube link again. And I also dropped the link to the community showcase in case anyone wants to throw in any photos later. I see that Tina Martins joined us. Hi, Tina. And she says Hello. She's a big fan of your work.
Yeah, speak to her quite a lot.
Okay, so let's see, where were we?
Which one's next?
Let's see, let's go back to this. Okay, this is kind of a Stargate-y.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, see, I have seen Stargate probably once, and I've never seen Stargate SG-1. I've never played Halo. So everything everybody referenced about these, I've never seen or played, but I'm 100% that my mind was definitely influenced by that kind of pop culture. The one in the top left there reminds me very much of the hood that the bad guy wears in Lost in Space, the Matt LeBlanc film.
I don't even think I've seen that one.
But I wouldn't bother.
But I really like the one on the...
Spoiler alert, the Doctor turns into some kind of weird metal cyborg bug, and he has a hood that comes up, and it looks like those ridges.
Okay.
And I wanted something for the D&D campaign where the players could go to, and it looks kind of otherworldly. And I was also weirdly testing out another kit I designed, so which is not available yet. That one's not available yet, but it works quite well. I was quite pleased with it. They're quite delicate. I only broke them twice while painting them. But again, they are all completely foam, and they're just hot glued together at the joints. And where you see the lines in the bricks, they are all in fact individual pieces. They're not just scored and one whole piece. They are.
Okay, I get you.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Okay. I might have a box of them still. I do. I have a box full of them still. So you can see they're all individual pieces. I just stuck them all together. Why are they stuck like that? Yes. This box was one of those annoying IT boxes that comes with that eggshell foam. Still got glue on it. So yeah, they're all individual pieces, all hot glued together. And again, I just cut the pieces. Yeah, that's glued. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So I just cut all the pieces on the jig I've designed, and again, threw them in a box with rocks and just shook them up. Because why wait for time when Vox will weather them, put 3,000 years on them in 5 seconds.
I really like this one in particular. It's got that whole thing going like.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that one.
What do you
definitely?
Call it? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like they could spin round.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased with that one. I'm really liking the smaller bits of terrain I'm making at the moment. I love making the massive stuff. I will try and bring the house over in a minute because it's quite big.
Okay. So yeah, love these pieces.
Thank you.
And next, okay, this is the one you showed us earlier.
Yeah. This is the mausoleum/crypt. And it was pointed out to me, would a crypt have windows? I'm like, it depends where you are.
Mostly, because otherwise it tends to get very stinky on the inside.
Well, I saw. These don't have glass in them because I haven't put it in yet. But I did see a Disney film, Coco.
And that has movie.
Yeah, and that's got glass and that's got windows. So, and that's a mausoleum, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, but again, this was literally just to try and build something. I wanted to build something small and quick. I wanted to implement a tea light candle in the bottom. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I was quite pleased with this. Again, testing the laser cut tiles.
Okay. So, the shingles are laser cut?
Right. Yeah, they're laser cut, yeah. Rich sells those too, weirdly. So, yeah, and the windows, they're laser cut too. So, yeah, I'm really pleased with the mausoleum. This one turned out incredibly well, and it didn't take me too long to build at all. And this is the one I tested my paint scheme on for the rest of the other pieces.
Oh, okay.
So the columns and the arches are all the same kind of color. I don't think any of the D&D players in my campaign are going to be watching, but without giving too much away, these are all pieces from the same kind of town that was shattered. That was shattered apart and scattered across Faerun by mystical forces, aka dragons. So they're going to be visiting different parts of Faerun, gathering pieces from all of these different places, and then conjoining everything into a big infinity gauntlet type thing. So.
Okay, so campaign terrain is saying it's a fantasy build. You want windows? Windows it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the team
yes, exactly. So if someone says to you, "Why does that have in it?" and you can just have and go, "Because that's my imagination. I built it. It doesn't matter where it is. It's up to you, isn't it?" So.
Okay, and Tina is saying the windows are important because the dead want to see what kind of weather it is outside too.
Oh, exactly. You don't want to go outside as a zombie when it's wet. It's going to be horrible. And that dusty mummy doesn't want to get wet in his clothes either. It'll turn into a sludge.
It will take ages to dry out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, question about the brick walls in this one. Are they individual bricks, or did you glue the bricks onto a substructure, or did you literally just build everything out of bricks?
So the building, the every single build you see that I've ever made, apart from, I'm just going to show you now, this one,
okay,
which is a very simple test piece for painting. This has been scored. by a pen and pencil. Everything else I do is individual bricks on a substructure.
Ooh, okay.
So yeah, every single individual brick, including every single piece of cobblestone you'll see, because I'm a little bit crazy.
Yeah, and I was watching that video of you where you were applying the cobblestones with a pair of tweezers. It was
Yep. Yeah. Where are those offending tweezers? They're here around here somewhere. They must have applied so many cobblestones. It's unreal. No, I had my driveway relaid last week, and I said to the guys, I said, "Well, you're doing a really good job there. Do you want to see what some of the cobblestones I've laid?" So I got one of the models done. And went, "You're mad. You're just mad. They can lay like 1,000 bricks in an afternoon, and it takes me 3 weeks to lay 1,000 bricks."
oh yeah, and you do it for
yeah.
entertainment.
Yeah, I do this for fun. I don't get paid. It's great.
Okay, see, the Thunder then is heading out. Take care, Dex. Good to see you, and thanks for joining us.
See you, Dex.
Okay, and what kind of substructure do you use? Is like card, paper, more foam?
No, so it depends on what I'm building. So the large gatehouse I made was cardboard tube and rounded cardboard. Most of what I use my substructure, recently I'm trying to keep to the same kind of substructure, and it's 5mm foam. So I take the big thick foam I've got and I mill it down into 5mm by 50mm high sheets. So if you see any of my buildings, I generally do my floors to be 50 to 55mm high, because I like to work in accurate scale. So I work with my heroes being 32mm tall as opposed to 28.
Okay.
So that way they're not heroic. And then I go with 50 to 55mm, depending on what type of building it is. So if it's a shop, it'll be 55mm. If it's a house, it'll be 50. And the inn is there 50 as well to accommodate the floors. And it just gives a sense of realism in it. The house, if I put one of the soldiers from Black Scorpion next to it, they're 32mm to the eye, and they look tiny next to the house, which is how it would really look if you stood next to it.
Yeah,
so
buildings are supposed to be large.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a realistic painter, but I'm a realistic scale as well, as much as I can be. I appreciate hinges and locks and stuff. They're not realistic, but you're never going to see it if they were. So
could you bring that up again?
Yeah. So if you see the lock on that, that's not realistic. If you go next to that, you'd have a key the size of your femur. So, I appreciate that's not realistic, but some things you just can't get away with. They're just too small. So
unless we get tiny desktop lasers.
Yeah, the tiles are never realistic either, because a tile is generally the size of your hand, and these are massive. So yeah,
I'll be honest.
I'm trying to be as realistic as possible. But what's the point of being realistic when you've got giant rat men running around with spears?
There you go. I've got a thing with shingles and roof tiles, because I'll be honest, I have never seen a shingle up close. It's like it's not a thing that is used in the part of the world where I live. So it's like,
yeah, of course. Okay,
I'm just going by photo reference, and maybe whatever.
I've worked on before I did my IT job. I did a bit of central heating and plumbing, so I worked on a few building sites. And weirdly, with my IT job now, I still go to building sites because I work for someone who builds houses. So yeah, so I get to see them quite up close. Unfortunately, they are modern ones, but it's the same kind of thing. It's still interlocking tiles, isn't it? So yeah.
Okay, let's jump to the next one. Okay.
Oh, some guy had a meltdown when he saw what I did to that Empire figure.
Which one? The one on the knight?
The one on the horse.
The
one on the horse. Yeah, apparently that's worth a lot of money. I'm like, not anymore.
Is it?
Apparently so. Yeah, because they don't make it anymore. It's an out of production model, but it's plastic. And I was doing Warhammer when that first came out, so it's not that old.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I think around 2000.
Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, I've got a couple of those.
Yeah, so when he says it's worth a lot of money, he's talking like £20-30 a model. I'm like, well, it's not anymore. I've covered it in verdigris. So, so yeah, the basis for these are just foam as well. The brass bit on the horse is just some half-round plastic rod.
Yeah.
And then I just took. So the story behind these is the village I'm creating was attacked by giants, and the guy who's running away was the guy that discovered the giants and ran away, and then he got eaten later. And the
That's
guy on the horse is the guy who got rid of the giants.
the fleeing guy is part of the giant set from Games Workshop, if I remember correctly.
He is, yeah, one of my favorite. Absolutely one of. I have a piece in the other room. I've got another one of those guys, and he's fleeing a building being attacked by half a giant. And he hit the story is, the other guy on the Giants crew, he's holding him in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
So he was playing him at cards in a barn. The giant attacks, grabs him away from it, and up his right hand sleeve, he's got cards coming out of his hand where he was cheating at cards. So yeah, again, that's not a piece I finished, and I've had that for about 10 years. So yeah, I should probably get around to finishing it at some point.
Oh, a good time.
Yeah, I do love that guy. I think he's fantastic.
I really like the pigeon poop on the statues. Also extra realistic.
Again, you look at any brass statue,
It's
and
just
the amount,
got a
if
bit
you're
of
going
it,
to
yeah.
leave them to have that, they've all got bird poo on them. I don't care where you are, the birds are going to poo. I need to add some pigeons to it. I've got some 1/32 scale pigeons somewhere, and I need to add them. I've added one to my windmill, but yeah, I do need to add them on. They're quite cool.
Did you get them 3D printed or is it?
No, they were. I think they're a Pegaso. You heard of the brand Pegaso?
Yes. All right.
So I think they're a Pegaso. They're on plastic sprues. They're
Nice.
plastic. That's
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So I bought those ages ago. Yeah. You get like 36 in a pack, and it's only it was cost me £10, so I wasn't worried. It's not too bad, but they're so small. They're like ridiculously small. I struggle, and I'm wearing my glasses, so yeah. I mean, you're never going to look that close to him. As long as it looks like a pigeon, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what I always say is that if your players are paying too much attention to the details, you're not throwing enough monsters in their direction.
No, exactly. The detail for D&D is definitely in the narration and the story. It's not in the terrain, is it really?
Still, how did you get that patina effect? Because that looks really nice. The verdigris, I mean.
I'm going to do some free advertising, I'm afraid.
Okay, hang on. There you go.
100%. That's all it is.
Unpronounceable oxide. All right.
Yeah, unpronounceable. Absolutely 100% that. So paint the horse bronze, but spray it black, paint the horse bronze, do one coat of bronze over it, do a lot of necrotic oxide over it, and then dry brush it.
And
bronze again.
Bronze. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Simple as that.
Nice.
And then you do the pigeon poo afterwards. And yeah, it works. It's really, I was really pleased with it. But I think if you're going to have a brass statue in a medieval town, you're not going to pay someone to come along with some brasso and rub it every 5 minutes, are you?
Yeah.
So it's going to be patinaed, it's going to be weathered. And so should the rocks be below it. So the plinth it's on, where the rainwater collects, is going to put the patina on the rocks as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I see that over here.
I still haven't finished a plaque for the middle of that. I need to write a plaque. But yeah, I was quite pleased with those. They're some of the first pieces I built actually, along with the well.
Right. Yeah, but I like how you think your way through the weathering process.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. Again, weirdly, it's on my YouTube channel.
Okay, next one up. Okay. Ooh.
Oh, my watchtower. This is one of the ones that has gone to America recently. Yes. So I sold this one. But I was very pleased with it. Again, as you can see, those floors, they're 50 millimeters high. And this is before I started any laser cutting or anything. So all those windows are made from balsa wood and cross-stitch grating.
Okay, I see the cross-stitch grating.
Yeah, and the shingles. So those shingles are individually pieces of cut balsa wood that all textured and individually cut. But those ones are actually resin cast because I made 5 or 6 strips, all 10 or 11 pieces long, made a mold because why not? So so I can cast instead of cutting individual pieces for 2 hours, I can cast 6 of those put them in the pressure pot for 2 hours, and take them out later. And then I'll have 60 instead of taking 2 hours to cut them and individually score them, which is how long it would take. So I just do them as I'm doing other stuff. So yeah, they are an absolute pain, like an absolute pain to cut at an angle like that though when they're resin. Absolute nightmare. I went through 3 or 4 saw blades doing it.
Oof.
Yeah, not absolutely nice. So I stopped doing like that and I made them from foam for everything else. So or the laser cut card, which I've got as well. So yeah, but I was really pleased with this. This is the build I discovered my process of stippling the washes without doing a wash over everything. So I was really pleased with the stippling on this. The reason it's black, yeah, so yeah, you got the green on there as well, where the green is collected. The reason the wood's black is because I was really struggling for a decent wood color, which I've got now. I think I've nailed that now, but I was really struggling back then. And that black was the only way I could cover up the 15 different types of paint I'd already tried. So I painted it black, dry brushed it a bit grey, and then put a bit of wash on. And I think it looks okay. I was quite pleased with it.
Okay, yeah. So let's see. Dungeons and Chronics is asking, would that paint scheme work on metal? Not sure which one. Is it the
the stippling?
I'm not sure. So Dungeons and Chronics, if you could clarify what you're talking about, maybe we can get back to that in a second. And Questbortarian is asking, playable interiors. It's beautiful either way.
No, it's not a playable interior, I'm afraid. The only one I've got with a playable interior is the Angry Dragon Inn. I don't think you've got a picture of that, have you? Did I give you a picture of the Angry?
Oh yeah, sure.
Get off, cat. So I've got a cat right next to it trying to call me.
Is it this one?
There we go. That is the Angry Dragon Inn. That is 100% fully playable on every single level.
Whoa.
And it's stuck together with magnets. And as you can see, that miniature at the front there is a black scorpion guy. It's 32 millimeters high, and each floor is 50 to 55 millimeters high. So it is absolutely massive.
Yeah, it is a bit of a beast.
Yeah, hang on. I'll go. Watch out the way, cat. I'll go and grab it so you can show it on the camera. Hang on. This is where it falls apart.
Oh no. Oh yeah, the patina paint. But I still don't get whether you mean if it's for painting on a metal miniature or painting on a metal. Whoa, that thing is enormous.
It's massive. So yeah, it's pretty big.
It's beautiful.
I'm quite pleased. I just hope the daughter doesn't want a doll's house when she's older. See, that's the Angry Dragon Inn is a bit of a passion project of mine. I wanted to test myself as much as possible to see if I could get individual floors working, see if it would be structurally sound. And it's worked so far. Most of the walls on that aren't glued together, so it's individual sections either side. It's just being held together with the sheer weight of it.
I see.
I think it's worked okay, and I'm struggling to bring myself to paint it because I don't want to ruin it.
Again, I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so David Rush joined us. Hi, David. David is our chief electronics guy, and he's saying, "Wow." And yeah, Dungeons and Chronics was talking about the patina paint on the statue. So whether that was work on metal.
Absolutely, yeah. So the patina paint on the statues you could use on metal, no problem at all. Even flat panels. But for flat panels, I'd be very, very selective where you put the patina. If you do a flat brass panel, think about where the water would run off it. So where it would collect at the bottom. If you've got rivets at the bottom, the patina would be more pronounced towards the bottom edge of the metal. There would still be slight amounts at the top. So if you think of a square piece of metal and you've got a rivet in each corner, you'd have a tiny bit of patina at the top of the corners in the rivets and a great deal at the bottom if it's never washed. If it's thousands of years old, it's probably not going to exist anymore because it will have rusted through. But yeah, you do patina around the edges and then just stipple it out and it would look great. And then just highlight the edges on brass if it's got constant use on it. But yeah, that would absolutely work on metal. Those statues are designed to be, well, they're supposed to look like bronze. But yeah, that would 100% work on metal. Yeah. Please try it and send me some pictures. Yeah, you can see all those individual bricks. Those are all 3mm by 3mm by 3mm.
The tiny ones here, the
The
cobblestones.
cobblestones, yeah.
No, just those are tiny.
Yeah, that drove me mad.
I wonder why.
Thankfully, the insides are all wooden floors, so they were quite easy to do.
Okay, and they're
But
just
I originally
laser cut tiles.
They are. So the first two floors originally had the same type of windows as the watchtower had, made from granny grating. And I decided that I didn't like them. So you can see the one on the bottom left-hand corner there. But that was made with balsa wood, and I actually did steam bend some balsa as well.
Oh, okay.
And that's a resin cast, but it's going to be removed for the laser cut stuff as well.
Which is the ones you have over here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first floor there, where all the windows at the front, that's been me remade twice because I took out all the old windows and put new ones in. So a lot of people say, why are you doing that? Well, at the time I was doing it, they're like, oh, you must be mad for ruining all your work. I'm like, well, look, I made this from scratch, so I can fix it and I can do it again. It's not a problem. And go back to my Lego. People are like, do you let your daughter play with your Lego models? I'm like, yeah, absolutely I do. They're not glued together. So what happens if she breaks them? I'm like, I get to build them again. I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, they're Lego. They're made to be taken apart and put together again.
And they're like, oh, do you let your daughter play with these? I'm like, yeah, to a certain extent. I don't want her jumping on them, without a doubt. But if she wants to play with them, she can play with them. I built, painted, designed, and did these from scratch. So if it gets a little dent in it, it's not something I can't fix. I'm not too precious about this kind of stuff. I don't get sentimentally attached to physical objects, so I'm cool with people playing with them. And if I break it or if I need to fix something I'm not happy with, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much with terrain for tabletop role-playing games, but when you're building wargaming terrain, you have to kind of say, okay, yeah, I know that this will get dinged up and damaged and stuff because, yeah.
Yeah, if you're building ruins for a gaming table that is going to get used and you're precious about it, you're going to have a real bad time every time you play a game. Really bad. So yeah, you've got those heavy models stomping around in them, and you've got your ham-fisted friends coming over that like to lean on stuff. Yeah, of course, you're going to have a real bad time. But yeah. I'm not too fussed. If you have a model that you've built and you break it, it doesn't matter. You built it. You've got the skill to be able to fix it and repair it. Yeah, it's going to cost you a bit of time and aggravation, but you'll learn. Again, everything is constant learning, and which is what I like. So I try, and as much as I do with my builds, I'm trying to teach myself something new every single time if I can, which is really cool because you guys are bringing out loads of good videos, which means I get to steal from you guys a lot as well. So it's great.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really love about the whole crafting thing. It's like everyone pitching in ideas and building stuff, and yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great when another one method comes out, and then you see everyone doing exactly the same method, and you're like, yeah, but they put this little twist on it, and then they've put their little twist on it, and then you come to someone else and they've done another little twist. Mm-hmm. So all these methods turn out to be 20 different methods in the end.
Yeah.
So you learn little bits. Yeah.
And there's another thing I really like about it, which kind of a variation on that, but someone takes a technique and then abuses it in some spectacular way to do something else it was never meant to be. And I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. We did this, and then we came up with this by doing it a million times. You're like, yes, absolutely fantastic. I love that when it happens. There's a channel I watch called Evan and Caitlin. They're a young couple in America, and they do all sorts of stuff with resin. Okay. And they wanted to encapsulate a pumpkin in resin for Halloween. And one of their pumpkins now is literally just liquid. Because it's still had oxygen trapped in it. So that oxygen's still eating it away. But they've got a solid block of resin with a pumpkin face on it that they can shake, and it's literally just liquid, because they wanted to see if they could preserve it without worrying about it. No, you can't. It's quite fun. They're really cool. They mess up a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're a very, very big YouTube channel, so they can afford to mess up a lot of stuff. and they make the mistake so you don't have to, which is brilliant. But some of their stuff is absolutely brilliant, and they're the guys that also, we shouldn't be doing this with this, but let's see what happens if we do. So yeah, that's what I kind of like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, still the liquefied pumpkin sounds like what Bob Ross would call a happy accident. Yeah.
They've done so they've done 2 now. They did one about 2 years ago, and they did one last year as well.
Okay.
So they're trying to see if they can get it to not liquefy. I don't think they'll succeed. They'll have to withdraw all of the oxygen from it, and I don't think that's possible. So
Yeah, I mean, possibly pre-treating it
trying.
with something else, but definitely not a fresh one, let's put it this way.
No, exactly. I think if they put it into a pressure pot, they could definitely do it, but I don't think there's a pressure pot big enough.
Yeah, you know, experimenting on pumpkins for science.
Yeah, that's a lot of shingles on this build as well.
Yeah.
I had I messaged Rich and went, I'm going to need a few more shingles, right? He went, how many do you need? And I said, probably about 3,500. He just cut a massive sheet. Went, is that enough? And I ran out, so I had to get him to do me some more. So yeah, I said, no, it wasn't enough. Sorry, mate.
Do you make them in strips, or are they literally individuals?
Let me see if I've got some. Hang on. I think they are all in strips. Bear with me. Here we go. So yeah, these are the strips.
Okay.
There you go. So they come on a big sheet, and you get loads of these on a sheet. I think you get something like between 12 and 1,500 shingles, if I remember, on a single sheet, and in the pack. So there are several different versions. You've got the scalloped edges, there's square higgledy-piggledy ones, and rounded edges ones. So yeah, they're really good, and they cut with scissors, and they're not as thin as they should be. We did try some that were super thin, but I didn't like the way they picked up detail from a dry brush, which was basically non-existent. So we made them even thicker, which is about a 1 mil thick shingle, and that works really well. It's not your super thick foam shingles, which work on quite a lot of builds, but the stuff they don't work on the stuff I build. But yeah, no, these are really good ones. I think we're about to get invaded by my wife and my 6-year-old, so bear with me.
That's all right.
Hey, monkey.
Hi, Daddy.
You want to say hello to everyone?
Hello.
Hello. Hi. We're just talking about Daddy's models. All right?
Hello.
That's Karl.
Nice to meet you.
So this is my little monkey. Do you want to should we get your model down and show everyone what you built with me? All right, hang on then. And what's this? Is this your princess tower, is it? Or is it the wizard's tower? Right?
Wizard's.
Wizard's tower, that's right. So Ida and I made our wizard's tower together.
Oh, that's lovely.
So we made it out of recycled pots. So we've got a pasta pot in here. And what's the can in the middle? Big Pringles can, wasn't it? And we've got a yogurt pot in the top. And we did use really thick foam shingles for this build because we wanted a high fantasy vibe to it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we spent a lovely day in the kitchen making this, didn't we, monkey?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's hot glue because we didn't have patience for PVA at this point.
That's fair. That's fair.
Then Daddy painted it, didn't he, for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, you're going to bed then.
Mm-hmm. I wish it was like you could stick your whole arm.
You could be a robot on.
Maybe on the next one.
Right, monkey. Right, say no, then. No, monkey.
Love you, Daddy.
Love you too, monkey. I'll come and see you in a bit, okay?
Good night.
Okay.
There we go. So yeah, try and get her involved as much as possible. We do a lot of this for school as well, which is quite nice. So I'm dreading the point where the school go, can you make me this? I'm like, no, sorry.
Oh. Yeah, that's bound to happen eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So, oh yeah.
Okay, let's see. I see that Hounds and Jackals also joined us. Hi, Bruce. Good to see you.
Hi guys.
And yeah, people are very impressed with the tower.
Thank you very much. It was mostly Isla, honest.
Daffy is saying she's so proud of it. Yeah, she has every reason to be.
So yeah, I've got to try and finish this off at some point. There's still a chimney breast and a chimney I need to add to the back of it.
Okay.
and maybe some something to the roof. The roof is just a big bland bit of expanse at the moment, so yeah, I think I need to add something to that. But there will be a lot of pigeon poo and pigeons on the roof as well. So
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
yeah, I'm quite.
So let's...
If you ask me the same question that you did earlier in about a year's time when this is finished, this will probably be my favorite build.
Yeah, I mean, this does
But
look,
at the moment,
it does
it's
look
not
spectacular.
finished.
Okay, and yeah, okay, this one looks amazing. This one was...
This is my wife. This is my wife's favorite build.
All right.
Yeah, and this was actually the first thing I ever built.
Really? All right.
Yeah, yeah. So this was a product that I was going to be bringing out for White Shark Gaming Studios. The whole ground floor is designed for the whole ground floor was designed to be molded and cast. I was going to make a resin building, but then obviously when I closed down during COVID, I was like, nah, I'll just make a building now. So I cracked on with it, stuck it all together, stuck it to the base. The inside is not playable, but it's 100% fully detailed because I was making it for casting, for playability and casting. So, but yeah, I was really pleased with this.
I'm sorry, I didn't
I
get it.
learned.
So the interior is not playable, but it's fully detailed. So
Yeah, so the interior isn't playable at all. It doesn't open, but it's fully detailed. It's got shingle. It's got the floor on it. It's got a millstone in it and everything.
Oh, whoa, okay.
But you can't open it to see because I stuck it all together.
I see. All right. Well, but it
This
is there, yeah.
This build is where I learned all of my balsa wood skills, because that whole top section is all balsa wood.
Nice. All right.
So yeah, that was making those sails was fun. It really wasn't. So yeah, the top canopy where the wheelhouse is spins around on a magnet, and the windmill actually spins around. I grab it off the shelf. Yeah, this is my wife's favorite build.
Oh, whoa.
So, let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. You can see the pigeon as well. You see the pigeon on the barrel?
Ah, there he is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this does spin around as well.
Oh, nice.
So I haven't stuck it on, so it comes off as well. So if I take it to a show to show people, I can take it off transportation. But yeah, this spins around on a magnet as well. So
nice.
Yeah. This again was a passion project. I started this. I started this way before 2021. I started this before COVID, and then I came back to it. In fact, 2021, you'll see this starts, and then it's nothing but foam builds afterwards on my Instagram. So yeah, this is the one where it all started, and you can see, if you can see this up close, you can see there's a difference in the foam. So you can see the cell structure in the foam on this.
Yeah, it does have a different texture.
To the one at the top. So this is blue foam, and this is purple foam. So it's completely different cell structure in the foam. So I can really tell because I work with it quite a lot. But I think the purple paints up better than the blue stuff because the blue stuff's got a larger bubble in it, if you want. And the it's a softer material, let's say, because of their larger bubbles. But yeah, I'm quite proud of this one. This one will never go. This one will always stay with me. There is no amount of money that anyone could offer me for it. I mean, if you gave me $1 million, I wouldn't say no. But, but no, this one is 100% mine, and it will be staying here because it's the first one I ever built. So yeah,
that is amazing.
Quite pleased with that one.
And question: are those railings cocktail sticks or and balsa wood?
Yes, every single one of them is individually cut cocktail stick, and then if I cut it too long, it's been filed down, and then every single one. I use my 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I put them down like that at the right distance on the desk. Where are we? There we go. Put them like that on the desk, and if they don't line up in the middle, they need to be filed down or recut. So yeah, that was fun. Best tool Get some of these if you don't have any. They're amazing.
What are
One,
those
two.
used for?
They're engineered steel blocks.
Uh-huh.
So they're called 1, 2, 3 blocks because they're 1 inch by 2 inch by 3 inch.
Okay.
And this sort of solid steel. They weigh a lot, so you are not going to move. So if you lean stuff against it, they don't move. They've got the holes in them as well. You can get solid steel ones, but they weigh a ton. So
yeah, I can imagine.
The wife said, "What do you want for Christmas one year?" I'll have some 1, 2, 3 blocks. She went, "You want me to buy some lumps of metal for Christmas?" Oh, yes, please. So, but she's seen the amount of use I got out of them. So she's like, if you're going to use them, why not? But they're the best tool I've got. That and my glue gun. So I've got a Bosch battery glue gun.
Oh, okay.
I was looking for something that wasn't corded because I can take it around the house.
I see.
Absolutely best thing for the money I've ever had. £30 worth every penny. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really happy with that. Not paid to say that either. Oh dear.
Okay. Okay. Other question. I see there are some ropes in the back and on the sides over there. What are those made of?
So that rope is twisted soldering cable. You know, solder.
Yeah.
So 0.3. I think I've got a roll of it around here somewhere. It's 0.3 solder wire, and it's just twisted. I learnt that technique from Chris Clayton. Chris Clayton is a massive Golden Demon Slayer sword winner, and one year he did one of the original, the river trolls they created from Games Workshop. He did one of those standing on a dock, and it had some woodwork on it, and it had a rope coiled around the dock pylon. And I asked him, I said, "How did you do that?" And he said, "Oh, I twisted solder wire together." So my brother's a plumber. So straight to my brother, got some solder wire, twisted it together, and it was just genius. His is definitely painted way better than mine because he's a phenomenal painter. He's just got individual strands of rope in. Mine's literally rope. So, but yeah, that was the idea I got from Chris Clayton, and it stuck with me all these years. And yeah, it came from that.
Okay, Campaign Terrain is agreeing with you that 1 to 3 blocks are amazing, perfect sizes, and perfect 90-degree angles.
They are, yeah.
Okay, Dungeons and Chronics is asking, where do you guys get the inspiration to build things?
I'm lucky enough to live really close to London, and there's a lot of old buildings there. I also love old, I wouldn't say old-fashioned, but I love sci-fi. I love fantasy books. I love fantasy movies. Your inspiration can be taken from literally anywhere. You could go to the bookshop and get a reference about the Great Fire of London, look at the buildings that burned down, just build that. Google is a great source of inspiration. You'll find that if you start building something, your mind will remember things that you didn't think were there. So like, I remember, if I'm building something, I can remember a bar I drove past once on a field somewhere, and you drive past this massive bar and you're like, I remember how that beam went across there. That's how that works. And it's in there. Your mind will always remember it, but you just got to think of something that will prompt you to get it. This is for this one. I just wanted to build a square building, and I thought, what is that small for a character? And it's a mausoleum. So I just put windows in it and made it a mausoleum. It's mostly trial and error as well. You know what? If you're building it and you're like, that doesn't look right, or that's not working, just change it. Inspiration come in many forms. So as I said, the tower we showed you, daughter wanted to make a princess tower. It turned into a wizard's tower. So yeah. And my main source of inspiration is YouTube, from all the wonderful crafters and makers and everything on there. That is 100% my main inspiration, without a shadow of a doubt. I'm not ashamed to say it. I steal a lot of my ideas.
Yeah,
I try and make them my own, but
that's the right way to do it.
But what is it they say? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Yep,
I think is the phrase. So yeah, try and make it my own if I can. Wylock's Armory, he's got a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, definitely.
I love Wylock. Warlock is my main inspiration for making my D&D tiles, whereas a 1 1/4 inch system where you can put a wall on the edge. Genius, absolute genius. 100% credit to him for that idea. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and I mean the volume of stuff he builds is amazing. Like the where he's pretty much replicating the entirety of the city of Baldur's Gate from the older games. That was something else entirely.
Phenomenal. I'm quite disappointed that he doesn't chug a pint of beer at the beginning of his videos anymore, though, because he used to do that at the beginning.
Yeah, I don't think
that's not sustainable, is it?
Yeah, I don't think YouTube would like it.
No. I don't think his bank account or his waistline would like it either. I don't think I could do it.
Good point.
Oh man.
Okay,
yeah, inspiration comes in many, many different places, but for me, everywhere, but 100% most of it is YouTube without a doubt.
Okay, and Dungeons and Chronicles is also asking, does every crafter have a cat? Sadly, no. Speaking for myself, no.
Well, you can have one of mine. I've got 2, Karl.
Oh, right.
I'll send it over in the post. It might smell when you open the box, but you can have it. Dear.
Okay, let's get back here. And your builds are absolutely amazing. I love this stuff. Aha, the gatehouse. Okay.
So the inspiration for this build came, I don't know if you've ever heard of a theme park called Chessington World of Adventures.
Nope.
So it's one we've got here in the UK. And I was in Chessington and I was sat there. We went with my brother and my sister-in-law and their children. And I said, we're sat there and saw a building which had an archway and 2 towers, the little towers you see. I said, I'm going to make that when I get home.
Okay.
And I rolled up some cardboard, stuck it together, and 3 weeks later, I had this. Okay. So, did I send you the back version of it? The back picture
I believe, the one with the wooden structures, yeah?
Yeah, the wooden trellis. The wooden trellis wasn't in the image I had in my mind. That just evolved because I needed some way. There you go. I needed some way for them to get up there. So that was fun, cutting all that balsa wood.
Oh shit, because that's all balsa wood, yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, all individual pieces, all balsa wood. None of it's 3D printed. Yeah. So I made that. This front staircase, the front staircase going up and then going up slightly is one piece. The bit going across towards the arch, that's one piece. And then the 2 staircases going up are separate as well. And then the top platform connects to the roof. Okay. So it was all individually, it was painted, it was made separate, stuck in, and then painted when it was on. So I 100% need to finish those windows because they're still like that. And I think I need to add some more. Yeah, there's black.
Base coat kind of thing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I do regret, sometimes I do regret not making holes in it and putting lights in it to light up and everything. But as I said earlier, the extent of my electronic expertise comes from tea light candles with a battery in them. So I'm pretty terrible with it, to be honest with you. It's a skill I've not yet tried or wanted to try because it just scares me a little bit. I don't know why, but I'm comfortable with most DIY like carpentry and plumbing. Carpentry, you get a splinter. Plumbing, you get wet. Electricity, if you mess up, you die.
Or you light things on fire either way, yeah? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I know my limitations and I know my skills, and I don't think electronics is one of them. So I stay away from it, I'm afraid.
Okay, let's see.
This is massive. It's sat just there. I can show you a size example of how big it is.
Okay.
Because currently sat on it.
I'm just going to keep that there.
Is a Chaos Knight.
Dude.
So that's a Chaos Knight.
Okay.
So it's pretty big. It's the only Chaos Knight I've got, but
Whoa, okay.
We will have a second version of that soon as well, because conveniently, I've got some Bombay Sapphire for Christmas, and it comes in a lovely tube.
Ooh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I think that crafters are part cat, because most of us get more excited about the packaging than the stuff that comes in it.
Absolutely. So I think have you got a picture of? Did I send you a picture of the backdrop I made?
The backdrop.
The one with
I don't think you did. 1 sec. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe you have it.
It's in the cupboard behind me. I can't get to it because the door's stuck on it. It won't come past the hinges. But my sister's boyfriend had a advent calendar from his work, and it was basically a house with drawers in it. So I said, "Can I have that when you're finished?" And I made it with an advent. I made the advent calendar, made a whole backdrop just from the box.
Okay.
That was the sole inspiration for that build, was the box I got from him.
I see.
So it was really weird. Yeah, I've got that as a larger version of the things I designed for Karl as a backdrop to put my miniatures on my smaller builds.
Okay.
So I've just not painted any miniatures or made any smaller builds to go on it yet.
Right, let's see. So, the world is saying, I want to make later the famous buildings of Lord of the Rings. First find all the pictures of it and then work for years. Yeah, that would be a very long project. So good luck with that.
It depends on how big you're going to build them. If you're going to build them to 28mm scale, you're going to need a mansion. Because Minas Tirith is massive.
I know Gerard Boom is building his Minas Tirith build in 20mm. That's sprawling. But
man, that guy is just next level, isn't he?
He's an absolute legend. And the amount of information he gives out, he's always happy to coach people. Lovely guy.
Absolutely. It's absolutely fantastic.
And also speaking of Lord of the Rings, have you seen the build that Zorb made?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's phenomenal. And now he's working on the Emperor's Castle, the Citadel. That's just insane.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to work on something like that if Games Workshop want to send me a load of sprues. I don't have a warehouse, so please don't send me any sprues.
Okay, so people are comparing pets. So let's see. Campaigner is saying, I live in two places. One has 4 cats, the other has 3 pugs.
Wow.
Okay, Dungeons and Chronics has 2 cats.
Yeah, 2 cats here as well.
Okay, a husky and a small dog. Okay. And
I mean, the huskies like having 6 dogs, right?
yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Especially when they start shedding, and then you have 12.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can brush a husky and get a second husky from it.
Okay. Question from Hounds and Jackals. Where do you store all your creations? Do you have a warehouse or an underground bunker in your backyard?
Just here. And there's one over there, and I've got some shelves up there. There's another shelf above the Lego there. That's got a couple of builds on it. But despite me having thousands of pictures on my Instagram, there aren't that many builds yet. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4 really big builds. There's 3 houses down there. The big backdrop there. All the mini stuff is there because there's a glass shelf in the middle, so they all fit on one shelf. And I recently sold 2 houses in the Watchtower anyway to sold it to America.
Okay.
So I'm, as I said to you earlier, I'm quite mercenary with stuff. If I know that I don't have space, I'll look at the stuff that I'm really pleased I built it, but I'm not attached to it. So I'll just sell it.
Fair enough.
So I'm not worried. I've built it once, I'll build it again. It's fine. But yeah, the wife makes me get rid of a lot of stuff because we like a nice tidy house. And currently this is not tidy. So I'll be in trouble later.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, campaigner is saying, so funny, Ian uses tons of resins and rubber, which scares me. I use electronics all the time, but I'm scared of casting as resin pours.
We swap skills. We'll have a chat. We'll swap skills. It's fine. No problem. I'll do your molding and casting. You do my electronics.
Okay, let's see. And Dungeons and Chronics is saying Eric's hobby shop did a big Lord of the Rings building with a few other people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the same project that Zorp was working on.
He added to the Zorp.
Yeah.
There's loads of the hobbyists that went into that. Absolutely loads of them, yeah.
But yeah, speaking of, Eric's Hobby Workshop is another great channel, yeah.
Yeah, another one that I subscribe to as well. I've been watching him for years, yeah. Who's the channel that I can't remember his name, and I feel really bad for not remembering it. But he cuts everything with a knife.
That would be Bard's Craft, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Bard's Craft. Yes.
Yeah, with the kitchen knife.
I love it. The fact that he just cuts it with a knife. I'm like, wow, that's brave. These two, these two in America.
Okay.
So they were also the inspiration behind the Rich from ROK Minis, and I had some inspiration and we wanted to create a kit that people could build for themselves.
Okay.
But they get everything with it. So they get the laser cut frame, all the foam, all the balsa wood, and all the windows, and it comes in a kit form.
Okay.
So these two were the houses for the inspiration behind the kits. You'll be able to tell instantly this is a prototype frame for that cottage. So I designed it. We've designed all the windows and everything to fit in it. This will be the second of the two kits we'll be bringing out. We've already got the red house over here, which is finished. And obviously, the house was the inspiration for this one.
Ooh.
So, and yeah, as you can see, laser cut kit. So yeah, we're quite pleased with these. You get all the bricks and everything with it, all the foam to cut your own bricks. But these are the thin tiles I told you about, the really thin ones. So this was the prototype. There's thicker tiles now on them. So
I see.
But yeah, so those are the inspiration behind that. So which is why I didn't mind selling those two, because I have these two now. So, and I can also get some more off each if I need to, I think. So I think the other idea is to also get a watchtower version as well. And maybe a backdrop if everyone wants it. So, but yeah, again, these were back when I used to use the older windows, the granny grating windows.
Yeah, I see.
These are all scratch built as well. They're all individually cut balsa and stuff.
Okay, question. How did you make those door handles? Because they look tiny.
Door handles is copper wire bent. So I got some copper wire, bent it around my my square, the blade tweezers. You get square, just shovel edge tweezers, bent it around the edge of that, and then bent the other edge around and just drilled holes and plugged it straight in. So it's just copper wire.
Nice.
So one of them's a townhouse, one of them's a merchant cottage. I really want to make a baseboard for everything, but living with a 6-year-old, I really don't have the space. So yeah, I'd like to make a 4-foot by 4-foot table and have it all designed and splayed out so you can play more time on it. But again, these buildings don't have an interior and they're not ruined. I think my next large project after I've finished the Angry Dragon Inn will be to start trying to design some more time buildings to have a go at. I can make a nice, lovely looking house like there, but I haven't made ruined more time buildings yet, and that's a task I really think I'd relish. You'd like that?
Yes.
It's something I definitely think I need to tackle and give it a go.
Okay, so the world is asking, first building is wood with a laser cutter? Question.
Which building was that? Sorry.
I think the one here or the one that we were showing previously.
This one.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I designed this, and it's laser cut wood. So this is the skeleton for the one in the picture, and the idea is behind it is my friend Rich and I wanted to design something so that people could, if they've never done this before and they don't want to fork out for the Proxon or all the tools and everything, all they have to have is glue and paint, and then they can crack on. So the kit would come with the whole sprue, the frame. He offers 3 options. Sorry, I'm plugging him now. He offers 3 options, which is just this. It's in this form. It's just the laser cut wood version, or the laser cut wood version with some foam and balsa and the windows, or the laser cut version with some bricks that are cut and some window and everything to create it. So everything you see here on the complete build is included in the price. You just have to add paint and glue, and then you can just crack on. It's like having an FX kit, but for buildings.
Yeah.
So if you've never tried it before and you want to give it a go, one of these will give you the confidence to stick bricks to a structural skeleton, put your windows in, and that way next time you might be able to pick up the foam and make your own skeleton and go from there. But I wanted to be able to give a way for everybody to do it without having to have too much equipment. I think we managed to achieve it. We sold a few. I say he sold a few. But we're happy with the way it's going, so we may well continue to do some more in the future.
Okay, so where can people find this?
ROK Minis.
Okay, good, please. So I'm just going to drop a link to that over here.
Lovely.
There we go. And Cross is asking, is the one you sent to the US laser cut, or is it in another material?
No, all the ones I sell, or any of the buildings that I sell, will be ones that I've made myself. Any of the laser cut stuff, I wouldn't feel right selling because it's a prototype product from Rich, so I wouldn't sell those. I wouldn't feel right doing it because I wouldn't sell stuff that I haven't fully 100% made myself. I designed these, but I didn't cut the wood, so I feel a bit funny about it. So yeah, and it's a product that I've received from Rich for free because I designed it, and then if I'm selling it for profit, I feel a bit funny about it. I don't know why, but I would. But anything I sell will be 100% built by myself.
Okay, there we go. So it took about 3 attempts to get the link pasted, but it's in the chat now.
Oh, thanks. That's smashing. I'll let him know.
Okay, so let's see. Oh, okay, this one.
There's the backdrop. That's the backdrop one.
That's a backdrop. Okay.
So that building there with the blue roof, that was an advent calendar from DHL.
No way.
Yep. That whole thing was an advent calendar, and I used the whole thing. I just covered it in wood and bricks and painted it. And the orange roof section is just a section. In fact, that's a tea. That's a box of tea.
No way.
Yeah, box of tea. Just stuck it all together and created that. And that is designed. I designed the base specifically to fit perfectly inside the Kallax unit from IKEA. So it slides straight in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't put the LED lights in yet, but I will do.
That's some good thinking. That is some.
Oh, that's not finished painted yet, that bit. But it is fully painted now and it's all working. So on the top there, where you see I'm poking it like you guys can see my finger. But the bit that's jutting out where the wooden doors are on the top on the left, that actually has a wooden platform coming down with some barrels on it now as well.
Okay.
So with some rope, yeah, it's got rope tied around it as well. But for that one, I didn't use solder wire because it'd be swinging freely. Mm-hmm. I used ship rigging. You know the miniature ships you can get?
Yeah.
So I used ship rigging rope for that, and it's brilliant because it comes pre-waxed and it paints really well. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good. That's a good tip as well. Yeah, I have been taking a lot of notes over this stream. Okay, so let's see. I think we went over all of those. Just checking back to see if we missed anything.
Yeah, I think that's there's the bridge. Yeah, that's one of each side for you.
Yeah,
I was quite pleased with that one.
Lovely stuff.
Not all those bricks were cut bigger than that. I actually hand squished every single one. So I cut them and then I squished them with my fingers to get the rounded edges like you would see with the river and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I squished them and stuck them on. Yeah, it's quite. That took a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of your builds have this kind of. You do put yourself into them.
Yeah. How much do I want to hurt myself right now? Oh, a lot. Let's carry on. That's why I've gone recently for a few smaller, simpler builds to try and build up my tolerance to sticking stuff together again.
Yeah, I mean, it sometimes building something smaller is just something that you can get out of the way in one day or a couple of hours. It really helps you.
Precisely. Yeah. It feeds the need to build something, and it gives you a satisfaction when you completed it as well. Yeah. So I won't have satisfaction from the Anger Dragon Inn until it's fully painted and playable.
Yep.
But I've got to make furniture and beds and all sorts of stuff for that. So
yeah,
I might forego my need to create those and actually just get them 3D printed instead, to be fair. Because it's a tool to use, isn't it? 3D printer. I don't have one myself. I'm just not that. I don't have room for one, and a resin one would just get ruined in my workshop outside. My workshop's a shed. I haven't got a workshop. It's just a shed. So, but yeah, I'd just get friends to print them. That's all good.
Yeah, I think that works better. I mean, I decided not to get a 3D printer purely because I have no impulse control. So it'll be, oh, nice mini, print. Nice mini, print. And,
We'll have that. We'll have that. That's another reason I didn't do it, because I know I'd be buying everyone STLs. Yeah. Yeah. I want a massive dragon. Click. Thank you very much.
Oh, I have a massive dragon, but I don't have this massive dragon. Yeah,
Yeah, I've got a couple. Yeah. Just not that one. No. Smash it.
Okay, so we've gone through your pictures. How do you feel about going to Discord and seeing what
Yeah,
people
let's have a
sent in?
look.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so I see that Earthman Brick has been very busy.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh my word, is that laser cut? That looks like laser cut perspex at the bottom there.
No,
That's fantastic.
I don't think Steve mostly works with anything he can find, so I can almost guarantee that's just literally cut with a knife or a blade or something.
Oh man, that's fantastic. That really looks like glowing perspex. That's superb. I love that.
And yeah, I mean, I think I can identify a few pieces he used there, but again, all these spaceships and stuff are made from whatever trash you can glue together.
That's brilliant. That's
And
absolutely fantastic.
I think there are some Lego pieces in there. The red block on the one on the right.
Not Lego.
Yeah, transparent Lego pieces. Yeah.
Brilliant. Oh wow, that's superb.
Yeah. So
I really
again,
like that.
that's Earthman Brick. Okay, more from Earthman Brick, and we've got these
Very
cacti.
nice. Those cactus are great.
Yeah.
I love them. Is that looks like an aloe vera plant to the left as well?
There's oh yeah.
Or it could be an agave. It could be a tequila, man. Fantastic. I like them. I like the hint of the needles as well. The pinpricks into the clay, and it gives you the hint that the needles are there. Because that tiny, you'd never really see them in real life anyway. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely brilliant.
But what I'm really liking is the vegetation on the base, because it's supposed to be desert terrain, and sometimes people just make it's just sand. No, you've got these plants, and it does look amazing.
They've taken the dry muted colours though, because they'd just be scorched by the sun, and they are clearly. It's fantastic. I love it. Very nice.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
one of the things that Steve does is pimp up DF kits, and this one, he's definitely done some work on this one.
Fantastic. That's really cool. I like that. Got loads of moss and everything on the bricks on the side. Superb. Gives it a really dark, dank feel, like it's been in wet surroundings and it's been abandoned for years. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I never thought much of MDF kits until I saw him doing these things up. Like, for example, this ambulance over here is just
tabletop with no tabletop tech. We know the TT Combat guys really well because as I said, I spend a lot of time at shows with Rich, and we're very often we're close to those as well. So we've had a good old chat with these guys quite a lot of the time, and there's some really top-notch blokes there as well. But some of their kits are just phenomenal, and that is unreal for an MDF kit. That's really cool.
The thing is that I had only ever seen MDF kits being used raw, like literally out of the box, put them together, put them on the table. So I never thought of how much better they could get if you were just painting them and decorating them and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the layering of the well. I've got. I'll just show you. This is something that Rich asked me to design for.
Whoa!
The Titan game.
Epic 40K. I forget what they call it these days.
Yeah, the Adeptus Titanicus. So what we've done here is we've layered multiple layers of thin card on top of each other to give a really nice detailed effect. So again, another one of my designs I did for him. But yeah, it's and
that's just card. Whoa, okay.
Yeah, that's the front layer is card and the rest is just MDF. So
nice.
Yeah, but you laser cut it and it gives a really good effect. And once this is painted grey and you dry brush it and then you wash it, it picks up the detail incredibly well. So who did the TT Combat? Was that Steve again? Was it
Steve? Yeah, Earthman Brick.
Yeah, so he's done a fantastic job with the dry brushing because he stippled some texture onto that as well, which looks really smart. And it looks like he's changed the lights on top as well.
Yeah, he has. Hi, Lance. Good to see you. Let's just go back in here. Yeah, I did change the lights. And I think he also put in some...
I'll be in a minute, sweetheart. Sorry.
Hey, no problem. I think we'll be done here soon.
That's okay.
What would keep you too much? But yeah, I think he did change the windows with more dirtier looking plastic.
Yeah. I mean, but painting the outside of it gets fine, but no one ever wants to paint the inside of it if they don't have to.
Okay.
Oh, orcs. Yeah, scratch built orc truck. Love it.
Yeah, there's
You
all
can't,
going
you
on here.
just,
Love it.
yeah. It's just, I don't need to say anything else. Orcs, brilliant, fantastic. Scratch build whatever you can. Wonderful stuff. I love orcs. I'm an orc man through and through.
Okay, more
Oh, yes.
pimped up arcade scenery.
See this? You could use this for anything. That's Necromunda, all sorts. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
There's even got a Wild Westy steampunk type feel to it as well.
This small building over here in particular, yeah?
Yeah. And it looks like that could also be a missile silo in the Midwest in the 60s in America.
Yeah, thinking about it.
Fantastic. Oh, I like that. Use of colours and that's really... Oh, yes.
Oh,
Tron.
okay. Nice.
No, that's really cool.
Some lovely glow going there.
It's just something about those colours against the black slate, against the black like that gives you the video game from the 80s feel.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I really like it. Really like it.
So great stuff there. Oh, we have here.
Oh yes, aluminium mesh. We got to do it. That looks like original GW barbed wire fence as well. Barbed wire at the top as well. Somebody had a roll somewhere. They bought it out. They bought a roll. They bought a strip of it out a long time ago. That looks original. But I've made some barbed wire with twisting wire with a drill before. That's really good fun.
I used the wire drill to make tree trunks, but I've never tried to use it to make barbed wire. That's something I want to keep a note of.
So making the tree trunks is one of the things on my list for this year to do, to make a giant tree.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that at some point. Yeah, that'd be great fun. I've never done it, so we'll have to see how it works.
Although if you want to make a really giant tree, I mean like a really stupidly sized one. So it's almost better to just get a dowel, make a frame of aluminum foil all over it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then cover it with spackle or sculpta mold or what have you. Because you're not going to get the thickness you want with just wires.
Yeah, that's a good point. I might have to try that instead. I'll see how it goes. Windmill, yes.
Okay, work in progress windmill uploaded before you showed yours. This is from Quest Terrain.
Fantastic. Those sails are great. I love it.
Yeah.
Now we've got to make sure that when the person's walking around that the floor on the first floor there, they don't get hit in the head with the sails. Like mine.
Safety first.
Mine, if you walk too far out, they're going to get knocked off the side with my one, because I didn't think about that when I made mine.
Yeah, that's a safety violation.
That's fantastic.
Right,
I love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Love you.
Love you too, Monkey. Aliens in goo. Nothing wrong with that. Love it.
So this is dungeon maintenance build for the wasteland wasteland terrain challenge, which you have got on for the end of February.
What happened to the baby on the end?
It's still in progress. I think her idea here was to make this kind of cloning thing. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! That's a really cool idea.
So yeah, we'll see this finished at the end of February. So we'll see where that goes.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, I'll be interested to see that. Fantastic. Oh, there we go. There's the baby's pre-clone and after cloning. Lovely. Wow.
Oh, okay. And this is the console she built for it. I think that's a bunch of
you can
parts.
see the keyboard on the front there and the screen. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and
I like that.
this rail is what do you call it? The supports from a 3D print.
Oh yes, that's a great idea. A lot of people just throw them in the bin.
Yeah.
And some of them are really good. They're really good structural pieces. They're fantastic. I like that.
I really love this this whole piece. It looks like it could be from a Fallout game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like a generator for a big warehouse or a nuclear bunker or something. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. I like it.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, okay. Tina came in with her Hogwarts build.
Oh, Hogwarts. Here we go.
Yeah.
I recognise as soon as you show those spires. So my wife worked on some of the Harry Potter films.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, yeah.
From Echo out the window.
All right, Johnny, I will. Don't worry. My cat's got out the window apparently, so I've got to keep an eye on it.
Oh no.
Okay.
Mummy's
Sorry.
found Echo, but we can't get her.
That's okay, darling. Don't worry. We'll find her in a minute. Yeah, Harry Potter will always have a special place in my heart. Growing up, getting the books when they came out and reading them, even as a full-grown man, queuing up to get them at midnight and going home to read them, it was amazing. I still love it as well. And my wife worked on several of the movies when she worked in the movie business. So yeah, it's really cool. I love that. That's fantastic. It's massive as well.
Oh yeah,
that is huge. I'll
so
be in shortly. Okay, monkey. Right. No, it's in a minute. Go on. No.
okay,
Oh, it's lit up at dark. That's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that what I want to do is when Tina finishes this, I really want to do a whole walkthrough video of it.
Yeah,
Because
that'd
it's
be
amazing.
brilliant. That is phenomenal. They're not individual bricks, are they?
Some of them are.
Oh, that's mad. Brilliant.
Okay, let's see. This is from Questboard Train again.
That's really. Now, how did they achieve that? Is that a rope, a cylinder of rope?
It's a cylinder of no, it's like I forgot what she used as a base, but basically she kept gluing and wrapping string around it.
Because that reminds me of the weaver bird nests.
I think that was kind of the idea, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And there's a pumpkin. Lovely. Brilliant. It's like a druid's meetup or something. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, Stefan and Liam from Chimera War Gaming. Hey guys. Okay, more work in progress for more time. Yes.
Yeah,
good.
more time.
We need more ruins. More ruins.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, someone else has been busy.
Oh yeah, not kidding. Blimey, look at that.
Okay, this is from Mia, from Mia Geeked.
Wow, yeah. That's a lot of work on those planks. My word.
Oh,
corrugated card. I love corrugated card. It solves so many problems.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with making some corrugated stuff, but it's actually metal.
Have you been using one of those toothpaste rollers?
No, just a bunch of cocktails, kebab sticks.
And you just rub it, you stick them down and you rub the two bits together.
Yeah, you make two at an offset and
yeah.
So
there is a company out there, I'm not going to mention their name, but they sell something that you can roll a tin can in between. It gives you a corrugated metal effect.
Yeah, I saw those, yeah.
Yeah. But, I don't want to mention their name because I don't want to give them a plug, but if you want something that's actually metal to do that, type in toothpaste rollers.
Okay, yeah.
So a toothpaste roller from Japan, it will also cost you a quarter of the price.
In shipping, I guess, yeah.
No, shipping's nothing. I've got exactly the same tool that they're selling without their name.
Okay, I get you. The toothpaste for from Japan cost a quarter of the price. Okay, I get you.
Yeah. So yeah, it's perfect. Oh wow, that's a lot.
Mia, have you gone and built a whole city? Jeez.
I think so. Wow.
Yeah, it seems it was construction. Yes.
It
was splendid work.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Are those? Is that some HO scale train carriages in the background as well?
Which one?
The yellow one on the with the railings. There, that yellow container. I think that looks like a train carriage.
Yeah, it does.
Fantastic.
Nice, great work. Oh, okay, and some from Loosely Collected. Oh, this is nice.
Yes, corks, great, absolutely fantastic. See, a lot of people don't give columns the scale they deserve because columns are massive. They're just ridiculously large. And we just don't give when we make a lot of times we make columns, we make them super spindly little things, and they're easily wider than a human most of the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the height of them, I mean, the buildings in Greece made of purely columns, the height, they're just like 30 foot high. They're insane. Yeah. So this is epic work. I love it.
And yeah, I mean, I feel it about that, like about trees, because most tabletop trees are quite small compared to a human.
Yeah, exactly.
They have this
when
massive
you go outside, it's massive. So yeah, which is why I said earlier, I work with realistic scale. So the tree I make is going to be huge because they're generally bigger than houses. So
Okay.
that's
Oh, more
beautiful.
from me, huh? Oh, this is pretty.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's very nice. I need to talk to Mia because I've never found a decent way to texture foam to make it look like wood, and that's really good. That's really nice.
Okay. I can say, are you on Discord at all? I can send you some links later if you like.
Yeah, I will. I'll join.
Okay.
I'll come and join, and I'll share some more bits on there as well. That'd be great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, more from Black Boss, loosely collected.
Wow.
Spooky Garden.
They're prolific, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, I love that
Very nice.
that bridge, like that kind of London Bridge or Ponte Vecchio kind of thing with buildings on the bridge.
Yeah. I really like the Godzilla poster as well.
Yeah,
Phenomenal
he
stuff.
is a man of great taste.
Wow. Some cracking stuff there. That's absolutely amazing. I could spend all day looking at stuff like this, but then the wife would kill me because I'd never get anything done. And I'm not allowed to do it at work because I get told off for looking at stuff on YouTube all the time. I'm like, what? I'm doing my work.
Speaking of which, I think that was beautiful work, everyone. But I think it's about time to let you go and have your evening now.
Thank you very much, Karl. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Those of us talking to you. Okay, yeah, I'll send you the links to Discord later. And thank you again so much for joining us because this has been fantastic.
No worries. Thank you very much, Karl. Thanks, everyone. See you again soon, hopefully, and I'll hopefully see all your work on Discord.
Okay. So, yeah,
Cheers,
lovely
man. See you
everyone,
soon.
and see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.